dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Is it possible to learn this power?
The world of Star Wars changed forever when this chapter arrived, becoming the emotional turning point that fans had been waiting decades to see. Even after so many years, people still talk about the intensity, the heartbreak, and the thunderous shift in the galaxy that defined everything that came afterward. Discussions, analyses, and breakdowns continue to appear everywhere because this film didn't just end a trilogy, it redefined what tragedy looked like in a galactic saga. Over time, the movie has grown even more respected, and fans who were once children during its original run now revisit it with fresh eyes, understanding layers of emotion and symbolism they missed before. In a way, this film aged like a legend, gaining more weight as every new generation discovers it. What makes its legacy so powerful is how deeply it explores the fall of a hero. People continue to debate the moments that pushed the key character toward darkness, arguing about whether it was destiny, manipulation, or the painful combination of fear and love that eventually reshaped the galaxy. Many fans reflect on how the film portrays themes like loyalty, betrayal, sacrifice, and the cost of war. Even today, emotional reaction videos, analytical essays, and fan conversations prove that the story still hits with the same intensity. Its emotional beats remain some of the most memorable and widely quoted moments in modern cinema. Over the years, updates related to the franchise, new series, animated shows, and expanded canon material have added even more depth to the film's events. Connections introduced later in the universe now give fans extra context behind certain decisions, character motivations, and unfamiliar gaps that once felt mysterious. When newer stories explore flashbacks or off-screen events connected to this chapter, fans get excited because they love how these additions enrich their understanding of the chaos that unfolded. This constant expansion keeps the film alive, making it feel like an ever-growing chapter in a massive timeline. One of the most interesting aspects of the film's legacy is how often audiences revisit and reassess its tone. Many people now consider it one of the darkest and most operatic chapters in the entire saga. The intense atmosphere, dramatic tension, and emotional weight resonate differently with adult viewers who understand the themes of fear, identity, and loss more deeply than they did years ago. Critics who originally viewed the film through one lens have since shifted their tone, acknowledging how many of its scenes have become iconic cultural milestones. The film's dialogue, emotional confrontations, and climactic battles are quoted endlessly and shared in memes, tributes, and fan edits around the world. The action sequences continue to be referenced as some of the most visually striking in the franchise. Every duel, every clash of philosophies, and every desperate decision still captures the imagination of fans who appreciate the choreography and intensity. Special effects enthusiasts frequently analyze how groundbreaking techniques were used for the time, pointing out how the movie pushed the boundaries of digital production. Many filmmakers openly credit the film as inspiration for advancing their own work, appreciating how the blend of digital technology and emotional storytelling created something unforgettable. In terms of updates across the years, cast members frequently share behind-the-scenes memories at conventions, interviews, and fan celebrations. These moments often go viral because audiences love hearing the personal experiences of the people who helped bring this monumental story to life. Sometimes they talk about the physical challenges, the emotional preparation, or the surprising humor behind scenes that looked extremely dark on camera. Fans cherish these insights because they humanize a film that feels mythic, reminding them of the real passion and dedication behind every frame. The film's balance between tragedy and hope continues to spark conversations among storytellers. Many writers still use this movie as a reference point for exploring how a character can descend from heroism to darkness while maintaining emotional realism. The emotional conflicts, the political manipulations, and the moral dilemmas provide a blueprint for crafting stories about corruption and fall from grace narratives. People admire how the film avoids portraying such transformations as simple. Instead, it layers them with confusion, vulnerability, and human weakness. This nuanced approach is why fans argue that this chapter offers some of the best storytelling in the saga. The music continues to be praised as one of the greatest strengths of the film. Certain themes have become legendary, performed in concerts, remixed in fan videos, and used as emotional backgrounds for fan-made tributes. Listeners still talk about how the score captures the sense of destiny, heartbreak, and conflict with breathtaking intensity. Even after so many years, hearing certain musical cues immediately transports people back to unforgettable moments, reminding them why the emotional impact remains so powerful. Collectors also continue to celebrate the movie through merchandise, anniversary releases, and special edition memorabilia. New figurines, reissued posters, and high-quality collectibles keep appearing, and fans happily add them to their shelves because this chapter holds a special place in the hearts of many. Even cosplay groups continue to recreate costumes from the film, paying tribute to the iconic visual designs that shaped an entire era of the galaxy. Whether it's armor, robes, environments, or massive starships, the aesthetic continues to inspire artists around the world. Discussions about the philosophical themes in the film remain active, especially concerning destiny versus free will, the influence of fear, and the dangers of unchecked power. Many fans and scholars explore how this chapter mirrors real-world issues about political manipulation, war, and the fragility of democracy. The dialogue has been quoted in debates, essays, and reflective commentaries because people recognize how relevant the story feels, regardless of the time period. Its message about losing oneself in fear resonates as strongly today as it did upon release. Fan communities often create animations, edits, and alternate universe interpretations that imagine different decisions and alternate outcomes. These creative projects highlight how emotionally attached people are to the central characters and how much they wish certain tragedies had been avoided. This cultural impact shows that the film is more than entertainment. It's a source of emotional connection. Fans express the heartbreak, admiration, and fascination they feel through art, music mixes, and long-form discussions. The expansion of the Star Wars universe through animated shows added surprising emotional weight to this chapter as well. Story arcs that take place before and after the events of the film highlight the complexity of relationships, betrayals, and alliances. This retroactive storytelling enriches the original scenes, making viewers appreciate the tragic downfall even more. Many fans say that watching those additional stories makes the emotional beats of the film hit harder, reinforcing the idea that this chapter is the emotional core of an entire era. With the rise of streaming and high-definition remasters, new audiences continue to discover the film for the first time. Younger fans often share reactions online, expressing shock at how intense and heartbreaking the story becomes. These reactions remind older fans of the emotional roller coaster they experienced during their own first viewing. This cycle of rediscovery keeps the film permanently alive in conversations, making it a timeless piece of cinematic history. Even debates about certain key scenes remain active, showing that people are still engaged and passionate. Fans argue about decisions, consequences, character motivations, and symbolic meanings, proving how deeply the film sparks discussion. Some people reflect on how their opinions changed as they grew older. Moments they once overlooked now feel profound, and characters they once misunderstood now feel more sympathetic. This evolution in perspective is a major reason why many consider this chapter one of the most layered and emotionally rich in the series. Behind-the-scenes documentaries and interviews released over the years also contributed to the film's continued relevance. Fans enjoy learning about the creative decisions, the technological challenges, and the dedication behind the visual and emotional tone. Directors, artists, editors, and performers often share their admiration for how ambitious the film was. Their insights highlight the love and craftsmanship behind every detail, from the design of the environments to the emotional expressions of the characters. The film's climax is still considered one of the most intense moments in blockbuster cinema. Even people who aren't devoted fans of the franchise recognize the emotional weight of that confrontation. It has become a cultural landmark, referenced in countless memes, homages, discussions, and compilations. This timeless recognition shows how deeply the film carved its place in storytelling history, remaining one of the most iconic emotional confrontations ever put on screen. Over the years, many viewers have described how the film shaped their childhoods, their understanding of stories, or their love for cinema. People often share how this chapter introduced them to themes of tragedy, complexity, and emotional depth. Its ability to touch audiences across generations gives it a rare power. Some fans even say they re-watch it when they want to feel something intense, remembering the emotional journey that comes with each scene. As the franchise continued to expand with new films, series, novels, and games, this chapter remained the emotional foundation that everything else had to acknowledge. Regardless of how many new stories appear, the shadow and legacy of this film continue to shape the galaxy's narrative. Every new storyline that references its events brings back waves of excitement and nostalgia. And every time fans revisit it, they rediscover the layers of heartbreak, bravery, manipulation, love, and tragedy that define its legacy. The long-term updates, ongoing discussions, fan celebrations, and emotional impact prove that this chapter is far more than a moment in time. It's a story that continues to grow, breathe, and evolve in the hearts of fans everywhere. Even today, the film stands as a monumental turning point that reshaped an entire universe. Its legacy still echoes through every corner of the franchise, reminding viewers why this chapter remains one of the most unforgettable and emotionally powerful entries in the entire saga.